When I was a young man, except for the Volkswagen Bug I bought when I was 18, I had a penchant for driving great big jazzy American cars. White Thunderbird, black Lincoln Continental Mark IV, black Ford Galaxy 500 hardtop that I used to call my Garrett Mobile, named after Steve Garrett, the Jack Lord central character in the original version of Hawaii Five-0. The Lincoln was something else. It cost a fortune. I took about 5 minutes to buy it. The salesman thought I was kidding. I was 27. I was in blue jeans. It's ridiculous. The first time I tried it out, I was flying through the Rocky Mountains, Rogers Pass, locked in it at a speed control, early speed control, locked in at 85 miles an hour with my foot up on the dashboard and playing a word game with my then wife. The RCMP pulled me over and told me that I was doing 85 and what did I think I was doing, and I was just so in, oh my, really? You know, officer, I just got this car and it's like sitting in your living room. I had no idea. He let us off with that one. Somewhere in my 40s, I seem to have lost all the need or desire for fancy cars, and for 23 years, until very recently, I drove a 23-year-old 1993 a Mazda 323. I paid $8,500 for it originally. I kept it in fantastic condition, 5 on the floor. I used to zip around. People would be, I'm a very aggressive driver. I'm sorry to admit, people would be clinging to the frame as I laughed and said, Bond, the name is Bond, James Bond, boom, 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 boom. And I only recently ditched that car for a brand new Scion made by Toyota, and like 10 minutes after I bought it, they said they'll never make them again. But I love it. It's a great car. It's very fancy. Anyway, I'm not one of those guys who gets neck strain, you know, suddenly spinning around to see the Maserati or the Tesla go by. I really don't care. Every Saturday, our local rag has a driving section. I get it. I get it, but I don't read it. I scurry on to the sports section, showbiz, politics, and so on. I'm happy to drive a car, and I admit that I'm as clueless as all other city planners about what to do. Driving in Vancouver, Seattle, or Los Angeles is enough of a pain, but what would you do if you lived in Taipei, Sao Paulo, Seoul, or Beijing? I've driven a car in Taipei. Can't even begin to explain what a nightmare that is. This is not the most sensible way for billions of human persons to move about, and yet we love the privacy, or if you're in England, the privacy and the power. And if you've lived and worked in London, Rome, Toronto, or New York and spent half your life in crowded, sweaty, I left out Tokyo, subway cars, you understand the sheer joy of getting into your own little world and, bing, calling up some tunes. Pickle. Cars, a central machinery of the world economy, are fun and fascinating and a nightmare and flat stupid. And what are we going to do without them?